Mangalacharan prayers. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rūpa Kadamayam Dadati Sattvatam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rūpam Sadvajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Bharata Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Shri Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shri Made Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashakta Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gordushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dini Bandhu Jagapati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Paripriye Vansha Kalpatarudesha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitani Pavanejhu Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Gaura Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining on time. We are studying Nectar of Devotion. We'll look at chapter 11 and 12 today. So chapter 11 talks about aspects of transcendental service, seva, the different parts of it. So this chapter will describe the last and most advanced of the 9 main processes of devotion service. Dasyam, Sakhyam, and Atmanivedanam. So they will be described in detail here. There are 2 types of servitorships. You should know there are 2 aspects of servitorship. One is called Karma Arpanam, and the other is called Kainkaryam. You can write these 2 terms, Karma Arpanam and Kainkaryam. Karma Arpanam means you offer the activities to the Lord. Karma Arpanam. Karma means activities, Arpanam means to offer. So you offer the activities to the Lord. So that's called Karma Arpanam. And then Kainkaryam is serving the Lord in the mood of a personal attendant or a servant. Kinkara. King means what? Kara means should I do. Kinkara. So from Kinkara the word comes Kainkaryam. Means the attitude is always standing in front of the Lord or next to the Lord or behind the Lord, waiting. Please give me order. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Just like a secretary is or a personal servant is, always waiting for the master to give instruction. So that is one aspect of servitorship. So one is Karma Arpanam and other is Kainkaryam. So Skanda Puran, we are going to read it, describes the first aspect, and Naradiya Puran describes the second aspect. So in Karma Arpanam, there are 2 categories further. One is you offer the fruits of your Varnashram Karma. If you are a Brahmana, you are getting some fruits from your Brahmanical activities, you offer them to Krishna. If you are a Kshatriya, you are getting some fruits from your Kshatriya activities, you offer them to Krishna. If you're a Vaishya, you're getting some fruits from your Vaishya activities, offer them to Krishna. So that's called Karma Arpanam. Okay, one part of Karma Arpanam. And the other part of Karma Arpanam is offering the 9 main devotional activities of Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Bhakti, Sevam. That is also karma. If I am chanting is also a karma. If I am hearing about Krishna, that is also a karma. Right? So that is another kind of karma arpana, offering direct service within the 9 main processes of devotional service. Okay. So our acharyas, they say that pure devotional service is service free from karma and jnana, isn't it? That's what we have learned from Rūpa Gosvāmī's definition of pure devotional service. Therefore, uh, just offering the results of varnashram dharma to Krishna cannot be considered as the most important limb of sadhana bhakti. Therefore, sadhana bhakti means we must follow the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevana. If someone is thinking, I'm working and I'm earning money and I'll offer the results of my money to Krishna, then that will become sadhana bhakti. That is not sadhana bhakti. It is only karma arpana, offering the fruits of one's karma. So it can be then called as karma yoga, but not sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means there has to be Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevana. So that's why this is very, very essential to engage in these 9 activities. Because just working in some kind of profession and then offering the results of one's karma to Krishna is not considered to be bhakti. It is considered as gauna dharma, not the prime dharma or occupational duty. It is secondary. So that's first category. And the second category type of servitorship is kenkaryam, always waiting for the master to give an order. So in that kind of servitorship, one performs direct devotional service to the Lord in the mood of a servant, a personal attendant. So here what happens is, as a personal servant of the Lord also, you might be doing the same things which you might be doing uh, in the first category of karma, or, servitorship. But here the attitude is different. What was the attitude in that case? The attitude was, okay, if I'm a Brahmana, I'll offer the results of my Brahminical activities to Krishna. If I'm a Kshatriya, I'll offer the results of my Kshatriya activities to Krishna. But here the mood is, if Krishna wants me to be a Brahmana, I'll be a Brahmana. If Krishna wants me to be a Kshatriya, I'll be a Kshatriya. Means whatever Krishna will tell me, I'll do. So that rigidity is not there of the ego. In the previous case, there is rigidity of ego. I'll do what I like to do. In the second case of Kainkaryam, there is no rigidity that I will do what I like to do. Then it is whatever Krishna wants me to do, and I offer the results of my activity to Krishna. Okay, so let's read from the book now. Vijay Krishna Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam. Chapter 11, Aspects of Transcendental Service, Servitorship. In the opinion of the karmis, fruitive workers, offering the results of karma is called servitorship. But according to Vaishnava acharyas like Rūpa Gosvāmī, servitorship means constant engagement in some kind of service to the Lord. In the Skanda Purana, it is said that those who are attached to the ritualistic activities, the 4 orders of social life and the 4 orders of spiritual life are considered devotees. But when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly, these must be Bhagavatas or pure devotees. Those who are engaged in fruitive activities or prescribed duties according to the 4 orders of social and spiritual life are not actually pure devotees. But still, because they are offering the results to the Lord, they are accepted as devotees. When one has no such desire but acts spontaneously out of love of God, such a person must be accepted as a pure devotee. The conditioned souls who have come into contact with the material world are all more or less desirous of lording it over material nature. The system of Varnashrama and the prescribed duties under this system are so designed that the conditioned soul may enjoy in the material world according to his desire for sense gratification and at the same time gradually become elevated to spiritual understanding. Under these prescribed duties of Varna and Ashrama, there are many activities which belong to devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Those devotees who are householders accept Vedic ritualistic performances as well as the prescribed duties of devotional service because both are meant for satisfying Krishna. When householder devotees perform some Vedic ritualistic duties, they do so to satisfy Krishna. As we have previously discussed, any activity aiming at satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead is considered devotional service. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Yes, next paragraph. Vaishya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī describes one who is fit for becoming engaged in devotional service. He says that persons who are neophytes and who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in the activities of sense gratification in proportion to their devotion. But if there is still some attraction for sense gratifying activities, then the result of such activities should be offered to Krishna. This is also called engagement in the service of the Lord, with the Lord as the master and the worker as the servant. In the Naradiya Purana, there is a statement of how this servitorship is transcendental. It is said there that a person who is constantly engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words, or even a person who is not practically engaged but is simply desiring to be so, is considered to be liberated. Hare Krishna.
So this concept is clear. Two types of servitorship, and the lower type and the higher type. But it's nice, even if someone is just doing Varnashram Dharma and offering the results of one's activities to Krishna, that is good because that's going to act as a stepping stone for the next type of servitorship. But that is nice, at least offering the results. That's very nice. Next is devotional service in friendship. Treating Krishna as a friend, Sakhyam. Now, regarding friendship, there are two types of friendship. One is known as Vishvasa, and the other is called Maitri. So, one kind of friendship is of that of a superior well-wisher. A person who is superior to us and is a well-wisher, that person will also see us as a friend. And then there is a person who is equal to us, like a peer, a friendly relationship with a peer. So both are there. So Vishwas means to have this faith or strong faith or confidence that Krishna is our benefactor. Krishna is our well-wisher. Krishna is Sukhrita. That is one kind of friendship that Krishna will always help us. And this kind of friendship example is Draupadi, who saw Krishna as a protector and well-wisher. She was a Sakhi of Krishna, but Sakhi who depended on Krishna for protection. So that kind of friendship. And okay. So Srila Prabhupada here will, it's little bit change the way of explaining this subject. And he'll say that just like Krishna can be your well-wisher, you can also become Krishna's well-wisher. And then he says, how? And he says, by preaching Krishna consciousness. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a place. Once I was supposed to give lecture on the topic of Sakyam. So I was doing some research. So I came across a purport of Srila Prabhupada where Srila Prabhupada said, actually, to be a friend of Krishna means you should preach Krishna consciousness. Then you are a friend of Krishna. Because you are helping Krishna do what he is not able to do. So then you become Krishna's friend. And then he says that when Krishna instructed Lord Brahma in the subject matter of creating the universe, and Brahma agreed to do Krishna's job, Krishna shook hands with Brahma. Now, how interesting it is, that shaking of hands, we think it's a Western gesture. But Prabhupada says Krishna shook hands with Brahma. So it means that shaking hands is actually a Vedic gesture, not a Western gesture. So then there Prabhupada said that if you preach Krishna consciousness, Krishna will also shake hands with you. So that's a twist. Prabhupada says, okay, Krishna is your well-wisher, now you become Krishna's well-wisher. So here Rupa Goswami will talk about faith. Vishwas means faith. So we'll talk about two kinds of faith. One is preliminary faith, and the other is mature faith. Huh? So that's how we'll describe this. Fine. Then the next is Maitri, the second type of friendship. And this kind of friendship appears at a more advanced stage. Like Draupadi's friendship is a friendship of lower category because she is thinking Krishna will help her, Krishna will protect her, Krishna is her well-wisher. But there is a more advanced type of friendship where you see Krishna as your equal. Hmm. And this happens when one begins to serve the deity form of Krishna in the mood of a friend. Then one develops that kind of friendship. Yeah. So let's read here. Remember the
Krishna. Devotional service in friendship can be divided into two categories. The first is to act as confidential servant of the Lord, and the other is to act as the well-wisher of the Lord. The devotees who has confidence in devotional service to the Lord systematically follows the rules and regulation with the faith that he will achieve the platform of transcendental life. The second type of devotional service is to become a well-wisher of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Lord accepts a preacher as the most dear servant. Anyone who is preaching the confidential message of the Gita to the people in general is so dear to Krishna that no one can be equal to him in human society. Hare Krishna.
Varshana Leela.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. In the Mahabharata, Draupadi says, "My dear Govinda, your promise is that your devotee can never be vanquished. I believe in that statement, and therefore, in all kinds of tribulations, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live." The purport is that Draupadi and her 5 husbands, the Pandavas, were put into severe tribulations by their cousin brother Duryodhana as well as by others. The tribulation was so severe that even Bhishma Dev, who was both a lifelong brahmachari and a great warrior, would sometimes shed tears thinking of them. He was always surprised that although the Pandavas were so righteous and Draupadi was practically the goddess of fortune, and although Krishna was their friend, still they had to undergo such severe tribulations. Though their tribulations were not ordinary, Draupadi was not discouraged. She knew that because Krishna was their friend, ultimately they would be saved. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Next paragraph. Dev Prabhu.
A similar statement is there in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, verse 53, where Havis, the son of King Rishabha, addresses Maharaja Nimi, "My dear king, a person who never deviates even for a moment from engagement in service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, engagement which is sought even by great demigods like Indra, with firm conviction that there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than this, is called the first class devotee." Shall I continue, Prabhuji? Sri Rupa Goswami says that a neophyte devotee who has simply developed a slight love of Godhead is certainly a prospective candidate for devotional service. When he becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes a confidential part of his devotional service. Sometimes it
Correct.
is Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in the temple of the Lord in order to serve him as a confidential friend. Such friendly behavior of a devotee may be accepted as raganuga or spontaneous. Although, according to regulative principles, no one can lie down in the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This spontaneous love of Godhead may be grouped under devotional service and friendship.
Like, to give you an example, once His Holiness Srimad Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj was traveling to Singapore. And Singapore iskcon does not have a good name since long time. So he was stopped at the police customs at the airport. And then they put him in the jail. So Maharaj was in jail. But Maharaj was carrying his Gopal deity with him. So while he was in the jail, he told his servant, when the servant asked, what about Gopal? So Maharaj said, he should also be with us in the jail. It's because of him I'm in the jail. So he should also be with us in the jail. So that kind of dealing is a friendly dealing. So he put me in the jail, so he should also be in the jail. So that only advanced devotee can have such kind of expression towards Krishna's reciprocation with them. Very friendly. But if you do that, that will be offense then, aparadh. But they can do that because of their level of devotion. But if you do that like that, then it will become offense. Yes. Next, surrendering everything to the Lord. This is last one, Atma Nivedana. And who is the Acharya for Atma Nivedana? Bali Maharaj. Surrendering everything to the Lord. So here, when you say Atma Nivedanam, which means self-surrender, the word self can have different meanings. So if the self means body, then Atma Nivedana means fully surrendering your body. If the self refers to mind, then Atma Nivedana means fully surrendering your mind. If the self refers to soul, then Atma Nivedana means fully surrendering your self-identity. Right? So here different examples will be given. Like when Yamunacharya prays to Krishna, that is an example of surrendering the soul. Let's read this. Siddha Deha Prabhu, first paragraph.
Krishna, please accept my obeisance.
Prabhu, just check your microphone.
Hare Krishna, bro, please accept my obeisance.
There is echo. Maybe there are two systems you're using.
Prabhu, I'm not using.
Someone else can read Siddha Deha Prabhu. Your voice is echoing. Lalita Prishta Gopimata Sindhu.
Hare Krishna, Dhanana Pranam Prabhuji. Regarding complete self-surrender, there is a nice description in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 34, where the Lord says, a person who has completely surrendered unto me and has completely given up all other activities is protected by me personally, both in this life and in the next. In other words, I wish to help him become more and more advanced in spiritual life. Such a person is to be understood as having already achieved sarishti, having equal opulences with the Supreme. It's also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that as soon as a person surrenders unto the Lord's feet of Krishna, Krishna takes charge of him and gives him a guarantee of protection from all sinful reactions. He also instructs from within so that the devotee may very quickly make advancement towards spiritual perfection. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Shall I continue?
Next paragraph, someone else. Achutal.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. This self-surrender is called Atma-nivedan. According to different authorities, self is differently defined. Self is sometimes considered to refer to the spirit self or soul, and self is sometimes considered to refer to the mind or to the body. Full self-surrender, therefore, means not only surrendering one's self as spirit soul, but also surrendering one's mind and body to the service of the Lord. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung a nice song in this connection. While offering himself as fully surrendered soul, he said, "My mind, my household affair, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Now you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessor of everything. So if you like, you can kill me, or if you like, give me protection. All authority belongs to you. I have nothing to claim as my own." Thank you.
So this is the song, famous song. Manasa Deha Deha, Jo Kichumur, Artila Tua Bade, Nanda Kishore. Right? Whatever, my mind, my body, whatever is mine, Jo Kichumur, right? I offer it to you. And then you do as you like. Now, this is the mood of the Gopis of Vrindavan. Right? As you like. Same thing as what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed in Shikshashtakam. Which verse is that? Which verse is that? In Shikshashtakam. Similar prayer. Same mood.
Fifth one.
No.
Kinkaram. Is that one?
No. Last one. Ashta Shiva Padartam Pinashtamam Adarshanan Marantam Karmutuva. Whether you embrace me, you reject me, whatever you do to me, right? I'm your devotee, I'm your servant. So the same mood. And I am yours, regardless of how you treat me. Right? So that's the highest level of Atma Nivedana. Full surrender. Complete surrender. Next paragraph. Sanatana Mitayapur.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Shri Yamunacharya in his prayers to the Lord has expressed a similar idea in the following words. My dear Lord, I may be living within some body as a human being or as a demigod, but whatever mode of life I do not mind, because these bodies are simply byproducts of the three modes of material nature, and I, who am in possession of these bodies, am surrendering myself unto you. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
So if someone has a prayer like this to offer to Krishna, do you think Krishna will put them in a demigod body? No. I mean, this is the attitude of the devotee, but such a devotee will get the highest position in spiritual world. And so the pun is, I mean, the trick is when you desire, I mean, when your attitude is so humble and so, so meek that you desire the least, Krishna gives you the most. And when the attitude is, I'm so great, I'm so nice, I deserve the best, then Krishna gives you the least. Here, the attitude is, I deserve the least, and Krishna gives you the best. Just the opposite. It doesn't mean that, okay, because this person is asking for the least, Krishna will give the least. So this is how it works. When you desire the least, you get the most. When you desire the most, you get the least. Next paragraph. In the Hari Bhakti Viveka, there is a statement regarding how one can offer his body in self-surrender. There the devotee says, my dear Lord, as a soul animal has no need to think about his maintenance and sustenance. So, because I have given up my body and soul unto you. I am no longer concerned with my maintenance and sustenance. In other words, one should not bother about his personal or family maintenance or sustenance, which is highest level of surrender. And Prabhupada expected such kind of surrender, from his disciples in the early days of iskcon, that iskcon will maintain you, I will maintain you, give up your job, become full-time devotee. That kind of surrender was expected. And also that kind of surrender was exhibited by devotees in those days. That Krishna will take care. You don't have to worry about it. Right? If one is actually surrendered in body and soul, you should always remember that his only concern is to be engaged in the service of the Lord. So this is highest level of surrender. Now, do you think if we exhibit such kind of surrender at present, Krishna will take care of us fully? No? Krishna will or Krishna will not? That if you surrender like this, give up your job and become a full-time devotee, then Krishna will take care of it.
Yes, he will take care of Prabhu.
Yes,
He will
Prabhuji.
take care?
Yes, Prabhuji, only if we surrender completely onto him.
Yeah, it is. Krishna will take it. Once there was a disciple of Śrīla Prabhupada and is giving a class. So then the devotee said, Prabhuji, if we surrender completely to Krishna, will Krishna take care of us? So he said, no, Krishna will not take care of you because Krishna was Supreme Personality of Godhead before 1977. After Prabhupada left this planet, Krishna is no longer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. so that time Krishna took care. Now Krishna is not going to take care. Actually, that's not the reality. Krishna is still the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we surrender, then Krishna will take care now also. So that's truth, that Krishna will take care. Krishna will provide it. Next paragraph. Krishna to
Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī says that devotional service in friendship and devotional service in self-surrender are two difficult processes. Therefore, such relationships with the Lord can very rarely be seen. Only for the advanced devotees are these two processes easily executed. The purport is that it is very rare to see surrender that is mixed with sincere ecstatic devotion. One must give himself completely to the will of the Lord.
Yeah. No, this kind of surrender is difficult. No, difficult. This kind of surrender is difficult, where one gives oneself completely to the Lord. It's difficult. Next limb of devotional service is you offer your favorite article to Krishna. Offering a favorite article to Krishna. That's the next limb of devotional service. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, verse 41, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, my dear friend, if someone offers me the best thing in his possession, or anything which is very pleasing to him, he will be eternally benefited. Performing all endeavors for Krishna. That's why Prabhupada used to tell disciples or devotees that you offer your body to Krishna, then Krishna will be most pleased, because the body is something which a conditioned soul holds very, very dear. Right? The most dear thing for the conditioned soul is one's body. So if one offers one's body, which means completely offer oneself to Krishna Seva, then Krishna considers that kind of surrender the most, the highest, complete. Because for a conditioned soul, that's the most dear thing. Performing all endeavors for Krishna. Let's read this. Gunagrai Varan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No. In the Narada Pancharatra, there is a statement of how one can act in all spheres of life for satisfaction of the Lord. It is stated there that a person who is actually in devotional service must be engaged in all kinds of activities, those prescribed in the revealed scriptures, and also those are accepted for livelihood. In other words, not only should a devotee engage himself in the prescribed duties of devotional service that are mentioned in the revealed scriptures, but he should also perform the duties of his practical life in Krishna consciousness. For example, a devotee has a great establishment or a factory, may offer the fruits of such a material possession for the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Being a surrendered soul. Amrita Vilasini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandana Pranam. In the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, there is the following statements about self-surrender. My dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in firm convictions that he is yours, and who actually acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. In the Srimad Purana, Lord Narasimha-deva says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelters from me becomes my ward, and I protect him always from all sort of calamities.
All sorts of calamities.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next, serving trees such as the tulasi. Neha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Serving trees such as the tulasi. In the Skanda Purana, there is a statement praising the tulasi tree as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the tulasi tree, which can immediately vanquish volumes of sinful activities. Simply by seeing or touching this tree, one can become relieved from all distresses and diseases. Simply by offering obeisances to and pouring water on the tulasi tree, one can become freed from the fear of being sent to the court of Yamaraj, the king of death, who punishes the sinful. If someone sows a tulasi tree somewhere, certainly he becomes devoted to Lord Krishna. And when the tulasi leaves are offered in devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna, there is the full development of love of Godhead. Shall I continue, Prabhuji? In India, all Hindus, even those not belonging to the Vaishnava group, take special care of the tulasi tree. Even in great cities where it is very difficult to keep a tulasi tree, people are to be found very carefully keeping this plant. They water it and offer obeisances to it because worship of the tulasi tree is very important in devotional service. In the Skanda Puran, there is another statement about tulasi as follows. Tulasi is auspicious in all respects. Simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering, simply by praying to, simply by bowing before, simply by hearing about, or simply by sowing this tree, there is always auspiciousness. Anyone who comes in touch with the tulasi tree in the above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. Hare Krishna.
Any question or comment from this chapter? Then we go to the next chapter.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Vinod Pranam. Yeah, Prabhu, in that starting, you said there are two kinds of servants, Kankiriam and Karma Arpanam. So in that, those who are doing Karma Arpanam, they are not even it can be called as doing sadhana bhakti. So how do
Yeah,
I understand
if they
that?
are just doing karma arpana.
Okay, so for
And
sadhana,
karma arpana also has two categories. One is offering the karmas of varnashram dharma. The other is engaging in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pradasnita.
okay, so for sadhana bhakti, I need
One
to,
should engage in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu.
okay, if I'm engaged in Shravanam Kirtanam, then it is okay when I'm doing karma arpanam.
Then also it is karma arpanam, but it is second type of karma. First type of karma arpanam is just varnashram dharma.
So I need to go to the second step for that.
No, you're already
category.
doing second, no? If you are chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds every day,
Okay.
you are
Okay.
doing Bhagavatam Shravan, you're already doing second.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Vijay Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, it is said that if in page number 108, second paragraph, we can, a person who are neophyte and who have developed a little love of Godhead and are not interested in the activities of sense gratification in proportion to their devotion. But if there is still some attraction for sense gratifying activities, then the result of such activities should be offered to Krishna. Prabhu, just I wanted to know how can we offer the results of sense gratification activities to Krishna?
Sense gratification, the results of that can be offered to Krishna in the way that if you like to eat something nice, then you offer that to Krishna first. Right? Offer that to Krishna first. If you have a nice house, then in that nice house, you make a very wonderful temple for Krishna. So you offer the results of your sense gratification to Krishna.
Okay.
Like someone is a grihastha and that person is then gives birth to a child. Then you offer that child to Krishna, that this child will grow up and become your devotee. To serve you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, one more question. Can I ask?
One more question. Yes.
Yeah. Prabhu, you said in one Prabhupada's lecture, he said, like, if you are preaching Krishna consciousness, Krishna will be so happy because that you are doing the thing which he cannot do. How should I understand this type of statement, Prabhu? Because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and there is nothing in this world that he cannot do.
When Prabhupada says he cannot do, that means Krishna has put himself in a situation that Krishna cannot do such thing now. Because Krishna has to depend on his devotees to take that message out. First thing. Second thing, this is a fact. It's a truth that Krishna cannot give us Krishna Prema. Why? Because Krishna does not have Krishna Prema. Krishna's devotees have Krishna Prema. Krishna has Aishwarya. Krishna can give us Aishwarya if you want. Krishna has Mukti. Krishna can give us Mukti if you want. But when we talk about Krishna Prema, who has Krishna Prema? Krishna's devotees have Krishna Prema.
Okay.
So who can give that?
But he should allow us to get that, na Prabhu. But he only
that is a different thing. Everything is coming from Krishna.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Krishna does not have Krishna Prema. His Sri Srimad Gaur Govind Maharaj explains this in a lecture that Krishna is Prema Vishaya and Radharani is Prema Ashraya. Means Krishna is the object of love and Radharani is the abode of love. So how can Krishna give us Krishna Prema? Cannot.
Okay. Yes, he cannot.
Krishna can give us Krishna Aishwarya. So who can preach Krishna consciousness? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has Krishna Prema. He's giving Krishna Prema. Prabhupada is giving Krishna Prema because they have Krishna Prema.
But Krishna
can
is, sorry, Prabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, na Prabhu?
But he is Krishna himself in the mood of Radharani.
Mood of Radha. Okay. Okay.
Right. He's in the mood of Radharani.
Right.
So if Krishna will come, can Krishna give Krishna Prema? No, he will not give Krishna Prema. He'll kill people. And he'll give mukti. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, then he destroys the demoniac tendencies and gives them Krishna Prema. So that is there.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hare
Krishna. Prabhu.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, in the Atmanivedan section, you mentioned about Yamunacharya. Maybe if you can, I've not heard, who is this personality actually? Is he from
You have not heard of Yamunacharya?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yamunacharya was a great Vaishnava from Sri Sampradaya. He was a predecessor of Śrīla Ramanujacharya. And it's a beautiful story of Yamunacharya. That, nice, very nice story. And later on, when he died, when he left his body, so his 3 fingers were curled like this. So Ramanujacharya came to meet him, to see him actually. And he was like dead. To the external eyes, he looked like dead. So his fist was clenched and 3 fingers were curled, which is considered as inauspicious because the hand should be open. So that time Ramanujacharya understood that Yamunacharya has 3 unfulfilled desires. So then Ramanujacharya, he voiced out those desires that I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. And as he spoke those things, one finger started opening out. And then his palm became completely open. So at that moment, the entire Vaishnava Samaj, they understood that Ramanujacharya is going to be the next successor of Yamunacharya. So that's how, it's a very great Acharya. There's a book called Shloka Ratnavali. So these shlokas are composed by Yamunacharya. Very beautiful shlokas. Very, very beautiful shlokas. The prayer, the attitude, the mood is wonderful. And Bhakti-vinod Thakur, he has written many songs based on the shlokas of Yamunacharya from Shloka Ratnavali. Especially the songs on humility, the songs on surrender. They are all originally composed by Yamunacharya, and you'll find them repeated by Bhakti-vinod Thakur in his poems or songs. It's very beautiful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Lalita Breshta Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Regarding the relationship with Krishna, I share your teachings to devotees. Regarding earlier, you teach us how to serve Radha Kun, and you answered we just need to serve our spiritual master because our spiritual master serves Prabhupada and Prabhupada serves Radharani. So question is that one devotee asks why? Because why Srila Prabhupada serves Radharani? Because it is said that Prabhupada never says his spiritual identity in the spiritual world, and someone tells that just Krishna is a Gopal in spiritual world. So how can a Gopal serve Radharani? So about his spiritual identity. So can you help to clarify this point?
Prabhupada's spiritual identity in spiritual world, we don't know about it, and people can guess about it. But then in reality, once Govind Maharaj revealed, he said Prabhupada has to be a gopi, cannot be a Gopal. Why? Because all our acharyas are in Manjari Swarup. All our acharyas are in Manjari Swarup. Bhakti-vinod Thakur, Bhakti-siddhanta, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. So Prabhupada also must be in Manjari Swarup. So Govind Maharaj said that he's a gopi.
Okay, but Prabhupada never says himself, right?
Prabhupada never said it.
Okay.
Because,
thank you very much.
Yeah, because it's not a subject matter for us to know. Once we get qualified, we know it.
Yes,
How
for
would we
me,
know?
sure, because I've
How
seen it
would
devoted.
we benefit
Yeah,
it? How do
yeah.
we benefit it now at this moment by knowing who's Prabhupada? So
Yeah.
when we become qualified, then we'll come to know.
Okay, thank you very much.
Paramita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dr. Pranam. Prabhuji, my question is regarding Tulsi Seva. I want to know that for a particular period of time in a year, if we
Your
do
voice is not coming clearly. Voice is not coming clearly.
Okay, I'm writing in the chat box.
Okay. Vaichi Mataji, I've read your question. Is the same question, Vaichi Mataji?
I had Hare Krishna Prabhuji, one more question also. Can you quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, anybody who's in the Maitreya relationship with Krishna? Because you did mention Lord Gosvāmī Maharaj, but from the Srimad Bhagavatam or one of these scriptures, can you quote somebody in that
From Srimad
relationship?
Bhagavatam, Maitri. Which kind of Maitri?
No. A Maitreya relationship. You said, Maitreya relationship. You said the servitorship.
From Srimad Bhagavatam. You want an example from Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes, Prabhuji, or anybody who's in that relationship. For example, Arjuna would be in what relationship?
He is friend of Krishna, Sakya, yeah.
So would it be so Draupadi is in the Vishwasa type. So in the same way, Arjuna would be in which type, Prabhuji?
Arjuna is more in the type of equality with Krishna.
Oh, okay.
But then his equality is different from the equality which the Gopas of Vrindavan have.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like that. So sometimes there is mixture of rasals. In the sense, sometimes there is friendship mixed with little vatsalya. There is sometimes friendship mixed with dasya. I will give an example. Uddhava is a friend of Krishna mixed with dasya.
Okay.
But Balaramji, he is a friend of Krishna mixed with vatsalya bhav. Because he is elder brother. So there is friendship, but then there is also care and concern. Right? Like that.
And that is the second question that I had, which I put on the chat.
Yeah. So second question is, what is the difference between surrendering everything and being a surrendered soul?
Yes.
The difference is surrendering everything means you give everything except yourself.
Okay.
Surrendered soul means you give everything along with yourself.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So let's take a break for 5 to 8 minutes. Then we go to the next chapter, chapter 12.
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. There is a further question regarding Tulsi Seva. Is it okay if I do Tulsi Seva only during Kartik Mass? Yeah, it's okay, no problem. Further aspects of transcendental service, chapter 12. Hearing the revealed scriptures. According to Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, any book that gives enlightenment in the matter of advancing in devotional service is considered to be revealed scripture. Srila Madhvacharya has also defined revealed scriptures as referring to books such as the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, Upanishads, Vedanta, and any other literature written in pursuance of such revealed scriptures. Also, we should know any book which is written based on the scriptures also becomes a revealed scripture. Not that these books are the revealed scriptures. Any book is revealed scripture. So if someone comes and asks us, are the books written by Srila Prabhupada Vedas? We'll say, yes, they are the Vedas. Right? Okay, Kunal Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna everyone. In the Skanda Puran, there is this statement: a person who is constantly engaged in reading literature, initiating the cultivation of Vaishnava devotional service, is always glorious in human society, and certainly Lord Krishna becomes pleased with him. A person who very carefully keeps such literature at home and offers respectful obeisances to it becomes freed from all sinful reactions and ultimately becomes worshipable by the demigods. It is also said to Narada Muni, my dear Narad, a person who writes Vaishnava literature and keeps such literature at home has Lord Narayana always residing in his house. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th Canto, 13th chapter, verse 15, it is stated, Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. Any person who has become attached in some way or other to the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam cannot have any taste for reading any other literature. In other words, a person who has relished the transcendental bliss of Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be satisfied with mundane writings. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
It's residing in Mathura. So that's Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Residing in Mathura. The Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising the residential quarters of Mathura. Lord Varaha tells the men of earth, any person who becomes attracted to places other than Mathura will certainly be captivated by the illusory energy. In the Brahmananda Purana, it is said that all the results of traveling on all the pilgrimages within the three worlds can be achieved simply by touching the holy land of Mathura. In many Shastras or scriptures, it is said that simply by hearing, remembering, glorifying, desiring, seeing, or touching the land of Mathura, one can achieve all desires. Hare Krishna. Must I continue, Prabhu?
Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Rendering service to devotees. In Padma Purana, there is a nice statement praising the service of the Vaishnavas or devotees. In that scripture, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, my dear Parvati, there are different methods of worship. And out of all such methods, the worship of Supreme Person is considered to be the highest. But even higher than the worship of the Lord is the worship of the Lord's devotees. A similar statement is in the 3rd canto, 7th chapter, verse 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me become a sincere servant of the devotees, because by serving them, one can achieve unalloyed devotional service unto the lotus feet of Lord. The service of devotee diminishes all miserable material conditions and develops within one a deep devotional love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Skanda Purana, there is a similar statement, person whose bodies are marked with tilaka, symbolizing the conscious with a club and lotus, and who keep the leaves of tulsi on their head, and whose bodies are always decorated with gopi chandan. Even seen ones can help the seer be relieved from all sinful activities. A
Thank you,
similar
Mataji.
statement is found.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Hare Krishna. Hare.
A similar statement is found in the 1st canto, 19th chapter, verse 33 of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no doubt about one's becoming freed from all reactions to sinful activities after visiting a devotee or touching his lotus feet or giving him a sitting place. Even by remembering the activities of such a Vaishnava, one becomes purified along with one's whole family. And what then can be said of rendering direct service to him? In the Adi Quran, there is the following statement by Lord Krishna himself, addressed to Arjuna. My dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. No one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must approach him through his pure devotees. Therefore, in the system of Vaishnava activities, the first duty is to accept a devotee as spiritual master and then to render service unto him. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī affirms that all the quotations given in the Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu from different scriptures are accepted by the both acharyas and devotees of the Lord. Serving the Lord according to one's position. In the Padma Purana, there is a statement that one should perform the ceremonies for the Lord according to one's financial position. Everyone should observe the different ceremonies and celebrations of the Lord by all means. Next paragraph. Somebody please read that.
Prabhu, can I try now? Prabhu, can I try now? Is it echoing
The
now?
dear Prabhu voice is still echoing now.
Okay.
So
Hare
Bhashini
Krishna
Patra.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Performing devotional service in Kartika. One of the most important of these ceremonial functions is called Urja Vrata. Urja Vrata is observed in the month of Kartika, October, November, especially in Vrindavan. There is a specific program for temple worship of the Lord in his Damodara form. Damodara refers to Krishna's being bound with rope by his mother Yashoda. It is said that just as Lord Damodara is very dear to his devotees, So the month known as Damodara or Kartika is also very dear to them. The execution of devotional service during Urja Vrata in the month of Kartika is especially recommended to be performed at Mathura. This system is still followed by many devotees. They go to Mathura or Vrindavan and stay there during the month of Kartika, specifically to perform devotional services during this period. In the Padma Purana, it is said, the Lord may offer liberation or material happiness to a devotee. But after some devotional service has been executed, particularly in Mathura during the month of Kartik, the devotees want only to attain pure devotional service unto the Lord. The purport is that the Lord does not award devotional service to ordinary persons who are not serious about it. But even such unserious persons who execute devotional service according to the regulative principles during the month of Kartik and within the jurisdiction of Mathura in India are very easily awarded the Lord's personal service. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Next. Gita Kamyadeshan.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna everyone. Observing festivals, celebrating the Lord's activities. In the Bhavishya Purana, there is a statement about observing different ceremonies celebrating the Lord's appearance, birthday, and other transcendental activities. It is said, my Lord Janardana Krishna, please let us know the date when your mother Devaki Devi gave birth to you. If you kindly inform us about this, then we shall observe a great celebration on this date. O killer of Keshi, we are souls 100% surrendered unto your lotus feet, and we wish only to please you with our ceremonies. This statement of Bhavishya Purana gives evidence that by observing different functions in relationship with the Lord, one is sure to become pleasing to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vaishnav.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Serving the deity with great devotion. It is said in the Adi Purana, a person who is constantly engaged in chanting the holy name and who feels transcendental pleasure being engaged in devotional service is certainly awarded the facilities of devotional service and is never given just mukti or liberation. Mukti means liberation from material contamination. When liberated, one does not have to take birth again in the material world. The impersonalists desire to merge into the spiritual existence to end their individual existence. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Mukti is only the beginning of one's becoming situated in his normal condition. The normal condition of every living entity is to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. From the statement of the Adi Purana, it appears that a devotee is satisfied simply with being engaged in devotional service. He does not aspire for any liberation from material conditional life. In other words, anyone who is engaged in devotional service is not in the material condition of life, although he may appear so. Hare Krishna.
Next paragraph. Recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam among devotees. Kunal Prabhu, would you like to read?
Srimad Bhagavatam is a desire tree of Vedic wisdom. Veda itself means the aggregate of knowledge, and whatever knowledge is required for human society is perfectly presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are different branches of knowledge in the Vedic writings, including sociology, politics, medicine, and military art. All these and other branches of knowledge are perfectly described in the Vedas. So, as far as spiritual knowledge is concerned, that is also perfectly described there. And Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the ripened fruit of this desire-fulfilling tree of the Vedas. A tree is honored by the production of its fruits. For example, a mango tree is considered very valuable because it produces the king of all fruits, the mango. When the mango fruit becomes ripened, it is the greatest gift of that tree. And Srimad Bhagavatam is similarly held to be the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree. As ripened fruit becomes more relishable when first touched by the beak of a parrot or suka, Srimad Bhagavatam has become more relishable by being delivered through the transcendental mouth of Sukadeva Gosvāmī. Should I continue?
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam should be received in disciplic succession without any breakage. When a ripened fruit comes from the upper part of the tree onto the ground by the process of being handed down from a higher branch to a lower branch by persons in the tree, the fruit does not break. Srimad Bhagavatam, when received in the parampara system or disciplic succession, will likewise remain unbroken. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that the disciplic succession or parampara is the way of receiving transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge must come down through the disciplic succession through authorized persons who know the real purpose of the Shastra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended...
Someone else, brother.
Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that one learn Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of the self-realized person called Bhagavata, Bhagavata means in relationship with the personality of Godhead, Bhagwan. So the devotee is sometimes called Bhagavatam, and the book which is in relationship with the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also called Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that in order to relish the real taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, one should take instruction from the person Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is relishable even by a liberated person. Sukadeva Goswāmī admitted that although he was liberated from within the very womb of his mother, it was only after relishing Srimad Bhagavatam that he became a great devotee. Thus, one who is desirous of advancing in Krishna consciousness should relish the support of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm sorry. Thus, one who is desirous of advancing in Krishna consciousness should relish the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam through the discussions of authorized devotees. In Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first chapter, verse 9, Sukadeva Goswami admits that although he was very much attracted by the impersonal Brahman when he heard the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the mouth of his father, Vyasadeva, he became more attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam. The idea is that Vyasadeva was also a self-realized soul, and his mature contribution of transcendental knowledge was delivered directly to Sukadeva Goswami in the manner indicated. Hare Krishna.
Associating with advanced devotees.
Hare Krishna. The importance of discussing Srimad Bhagavatam in the society of pure devotees was explained by Shaunaka Muni during the meeting at Naimisharanya in the presence of Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami confirmed that if someone is fortunate enough to associate with a pure devotee of the Lord, even for a moment, that particular moment is so valuable that even those pious activities that can promote one to the heavenly planets or give liberation from material miseries cannot compare to it. In other words, those who are attached to Srimad Bhagavatam do not care for any kind of benefit derived from elevation to the higher planetary kingdoms or for the liberation which is conceived of by the impersonalists. As such, the association of pure devotees is so transcendently valuable that no kind of material happiness can compare to it. In the Hari Bhakti Shudhodaya, there is a conversation between Prahlad Maharaj and his father Hiranyakashipu, in which Hiranyakashipu addresses Prahlad in this way: "My dear son, association is very important. It acts just like a crystal stone which will reflect anything which is put before it. Similarly, if we associate with the flower-like devotees of the Lord, and if our hearts are crystal clear, then certainly the same action will be there. Another example given in this connection is that if a man is potent and if a woman is not deceased, then by their conjugation, there will be conception. In the same way, if the recipient of spiritual knowledge and the deliverer of spiritual knowledge are sincere and bona fide, there will be good results. Hare Krishna.
Chanting the holy name of the Lord. The importance of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is very strongly stressed in the second canto, first chapter, verse 11 of Śrīmad Bhagavatam in the following way. Shukdev Gosvāmī tells Maharaj Parikshit, my dear king, if one is spontaneously attached to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is to be understood that he has attained the highest perfection stage. It is specifically mentioned that the karmis who are aspiring after the future results of their activities, the salvationists who are aspiring to become one with the Supreme Person, and the yogis who are aspiring after mystic perfections, can achieve the results of all perfection stages simply by chanting the Mahamantra. Shukdev Goswami uses the word nirnitam, which means it has already been decided. He was a liberated soul and therefore could not accept anything that was not conclusive. So Shukdev Goswami especially stresses that it has already been concluded that one who has come to the stage of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra with determination and steadiness must be considered to have already passed the trials of fruitive activities, mental speculation, and mystic yoga. The same thing is confirmed in the Adi Puran by Krishna. While addressing Arjuna, he says, anyone who is engaged in chanting my transcendental name must be considered to be always associating with me. And I may tell you frankly that for such a devotee, I become easily purchased. Ashokanira Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In the Padma Purana is also it is stated the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is present only on the lips of a person who has for many births worshipped Vasudeva. It is further said in the Padma Purana, there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. As such, the holy name is as perfect as the Lord himself in fullness, purity, and eternity. The holy name is not material sound vibration, nor has it any material contamination. The holy name cannot therefore be chanted offenselessly by one who has failed to purify his senses. In other words, materialistic senses cannot properly chant the holy name of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But by adopting this chanting process, one is given a chance to actually purify himself so that he may very soon chant offenselessly. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that everyone chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra just to cleanse the dust from the heart. If the dust of the heart is cleansed away, then one can actually understand the importance of the holy name. For persons who are not inclined to clean the dust from their hearts and who want to keep things as they are, it is not possible to derive the transcendental result of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. One should therefore be encouraged to develop his service attitude towards the Lord, because this will help him to change without any offense. And so, under the guidance of his spiritual master, the disciple is trained to render service and at the same time chant the Hare Krishna mantra. As soon as one develops his spontaneous service attitude, he can immediately understand the transcendental nature of the holy names of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Ratnangi Lakshman.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Living in Mathura. In the Padma Purana, there is a statement about the importance of living at holy places like Mathura or Dwaraka. It is stated there, to travel to different places of pilgrimage means to attain emancipation from material bondage. This emancipation, however, is not the highest perfectional stage. After attaining this liberated stage, one has to become engaged in devotional service to the Lord. After attainment of the Brahma Bhuta liberation stage, one can further advance to engagement in devotional service. So this attainment of transcendental loving devotional service to the Lord is the goal of life, and it can be achieved very easily for one who lives in Mathura Mandala, even for a few seconds. Should I continue? It is
Yes.
further said, who is that person who will not agree to worship the land of Mathura? Mathura can deliver all the desires and ambitions of the fruity workers and of the salvationists who desire to become one with the Supreme Brahman. Certainly, Mathura will deliver the desires of the devotees who simply aspire to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. In the Vedic literature, it is also stated how wonderful it is that simply by residing in Mathura, even for one day, one can achieve a transcendental loving attitude toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This land of Mathura must be more glorious than Vaikuntha Dhama, the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. Questions, comments? Neha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, this word salvation has come for the first time, I think, in these pages.
Salvation means liberation.
Okay.
Yes, Sanjay Mishra.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Referring to the performing devotional service in Kartika, what is mentioned here is within the jurisdiction of Mathura and India are easily awarded by the Lord's personal services. So in case anybody performing the rituals in the month of Kartik within the jurisdiction of Mathura are easily awarded Lord's personal service. What about the people who do not get a chance to visit Mathura or Vrindavan during Kartik Mass? For all the devotees who are not able to reach there during Kartik Mass, and they're still performing the rituals.
Yeah, they will also get.
Okay.
Anything else? Lalita Prashna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, because we don't have the condition to live in Mathura, so always we see that devotees just mediate. For example, we mediate this room is Vrindavan, that room is Mayapur. So this kind of meditation is okay, because when we are not, we don't have such condition to be there.
Yeah, that's nice. We have to be in Vrindavan in our mind. That's more important. So if we are meditating like this, it's nice. We are in our consciousness being in Dham.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Question. Even if chanting the name of the Lord mockingly or unknowingly help, because the name of the Lord is so potent. So there is such a concept as taking the Lord's name in vain when it comes to devotion service. Well, no. Anyone taking the name of Krishna in any way is going to get benefited. So there's no loss of such a person. Not like waste of time because I'm chanting God's names. Not at all possible. But the benefits are different based on the quality of the name taken. But the benefits are always there. There are material benefits, there are spiritual benefits. In spiritual benefits also, there are varieties of spiritual benefits. So one can get material opulence because of chanting holy names. One can get liberation because of chanting holy names. You can get opulences like that of Krishna by chanting holy names. One can get Krishna Prema by chanting holy names. That's why the holy name of Krishna is called Chintamani. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Vinattam Namani. That Krishna's name is Chintamani. Chintamani means it's like a stone which fulfills your desires, whatever you think about. So holy name is like that. So it can always give whatever you want. So based on what we want, we get. So there's nothing like chanting the holy name in vain. But yes, if you're chanting the holy name, desiring something, but you're not really chanting that quality of name, then that effort is useless because you'll not get what you desire. Anything else? All right, so let's stop here.